Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. Please remember to like and subscribe. Amy Roloff's spouse, Chris Murick, is accused of taking out an incredible $300,000 loan from her ex-husband, Matt Roloff, and never repaying it. As a result, Matt is said to have given Chris a last warning, indicating that he has forewarned him once more that he will take severe measures if the money is not returned. Chris's money was invested in this unsuccessful glamping venture. Consequently, a significant amount of tension has developed at Roloff Farms. Amy Roloff is now like a deer in headlights, stuck between her present spouse Chris and her ex-husband Matt. Matt is allegedly under pressure from Karen Chandler to act against Chris. And it appears that Zach is validated by this incident. Zach had previously challenged Matt's business tactics, which led to Roloff's earlier claims regarding his father. What really is the Roloff family doing? Are they about to be destroyed? What will become of the future of this family? For those who may be unfamiliar with the Roloffs or require a reminder, allow me to establish the scene before we get into the specifics. The 2006 TLC original series Little People, Big World followed the life of Little People Matt and Amy Roloff as they reared their 4 children. On their 34-acre farm in Helvia, Oregon, lived twins Zach and Jeremy, a daughter named Molly, and a youngest named Jacob. The difficulties of dwarfism in an average-sized environment were not the only topic of the show. Family relationships, business endeavors, and the daily bustle of farm life were all topics of discussion. We've witnessed more drama than a soap opera over the course of 25 seasons, including weddings, babies, and heartbreaks. However, Matt and Amy's divorce in 2016 after 28 years of marriage marked a true turning point. It was disorganized. Charges of adultery and dominance. The headlines were dominated by disputes and altercations on the farm's future. After her divorce, Amy fell in love once more with Chris Murick, a real estate agent she met in 2016 at an event for single people. In 2021, they were married directly on Roloff Farms, which was meant to be a sign of reconciliation and fresh starts. With his easygoing demeanor and passion for motorcycling, Chris looks like the ideal match for Amy, someone who may assist her in overcoming the toxic nature of her marriage to Matt. In the meantime, Matt began seeing Karen Chandler, his lifelong farm manager, and they have been engaged since 2023, but there may be rifts in their relationship as well, according to recent sources. Roloff, the sole child other than his parents, has also been outspoken about his father's dubious economic dealings, particularly with regard to the inheritance and sales of the farm. Here's where it gets interesting though. Several people who are aware of the situation say that, and I'm looking for reports in tabloids like In Touch Weekly and this whole dead drama began quietly enough around 2 years ago, according to anonymous insiders who spoke to film staff. Chris, who has always been an entrepreneur at heart, had this brilliant notion to profit from the Roloff brand around the time the family was filming what would become some of the later seasons of LPBW. Roloff Farms is more than simply a pumpkin patch, you see. Fans from all over the world come here to experience that family-friendly, wholesome atmosphere, making it a popular tourist destination. According to reports, Chris pitched, as an extension of the farm's appeal, a glamping company offers luxury camping for those who are unaware. Picture opulent tents with soft beds, private hot tubs, fine farm-to-table cuisine, and special tours conducted by the Roffs. Given the enormous fan following of the show, it sounded like a gold mine. Always the businessman, Matt. Recall that he was the one who transformed a modest farm into a multi-million-dollar business complete with miniature lodgings, pumpkin fairs, and even a temporary wedding location. Potential. Over the years, Matt and Chris reportedly developed an unexpected romance. They connected over common interests like real estate and farm projects, despite the awkward ex-husband scenario. Off-camera, Chris even assisted Matt with several real estate listings. Thus, Matt consented when Chris asked him for initial money to launch the glamping idea. The $300,000 loan was transferred straight from Matt's accounts to Chris's business endeavor. Originally, it was a handshake agreement between family members rather than a written contract. Matt claimed to have viewed it as an investment in the Roloff legacy, which might generate income for all parties. However, as we are all aware, well-meaning intentions don't always work out. The glamping industry became a complete bust. Since this is where the plot truly begins to fall apart like a badly knit sweater, Let's take a step-by-step look at it. Location was crucial to start. Chris reportedly inspected 10 acres of woodland land next to Roloff Farms that may be turned into an upscale hideaway. He imagined eco-friendly tent pods with solar-powered lights, Wi-Fi hotspots for Instagram-worthy photos, and events like wine tastings from nearby vineyards or horseback riding. Though it was never formally named to prevent trademark difficulties, Chris used Matt's funding to employ contractors, purchase supplies, and even begin marketing the business on social media under a fictitious moniker like Roloff Glampgrounds. Early trouble struck. In rural Oregon, zoning regulations are strict. According to sources, Chris encountered septic system, water rights, and environmental impact assessment red tape that took months to complete and cost tens of thousands of dollars in legal expenses. Then the drama with the contractor. According to reports, the fundamental work was poorly done by the team Chris recruited, a local company with a dubious reputation. The first rainstorm caused floods since tents were erected on shaky ground. According to one insider, it was a muddy mess that appeared to be more of a survival exercise than a fancy camping trip. Deadlines were missed, materials disappeared, and expenses skyrocketed. Chris contributed additional funds, using the loan to cover urgent repairs, but it was insufficient. By the middle of 2024, the project was losing money. Since interest rates had risen, more funding was not feasible. Additionally, the post-pandemic surge in travel had changed. Beaches were what people desired, not retro glamour. Chris's real estate company also suffered, with a cooling market and fewer home sales. With liens from unpaid suppliers piled up, the glamping resort was only partially constructed. The entire loss, including Chris's personal funds and every cent of that $300,000. According to sources, Chris told Amy about the disaster, describing it as the biggest mistake of my life. However, in an attempt to make things better, he initially kept Matt in the dark about the full depth of the failure. The payment ceased at that point. The loan arrangement, informal as it was, contained a repayment schedule with interest at a family-friendly rate and monthly installments beginning 6 months after the monies were distributed. Early on, Chris paid a few payments, but when his business collapsed, he began to miss them. There were many excuses. The markets are difficult. Awaiting a significant commission. I simply need a bit more time. Initially patient, Matt became irritated. Financial dangers are nothing new to him. Recall his dwarf furniture line or his unsuccessful attempts to turn the farm into a theme park. However, this felt intimate. According to sources, Matt saw the loan as an opportunity to fully integrate Chris into the Roloff fold and test his character. That confidence was destroyed when repayments stopped coming in. All the way up until August 2025. The situation at Roloff Farms is at an all-time high. Once a representation of solidarity, the farm now seems like a powder cake. Matt has been coping with his own concerns, such as rumors of tension in his relationship with Karen and the recent announcement that LPBW is ending after 25 seasons. Decided that enough was sufficient. Production insiders and farm workers' eyewitnesses claim that Matt confronted Chris during a routine visit to the property last month. What began as a polite conversation about business turned into a brawl. According to reports, Matt sought quick reimbursement from Chris, accusing him of wasting the funds on a pipe dream. You can't buy your way back into her world, Matt. Chris retaliated, arguing that Matt was using the loan to dominate Amy's new life. The dispute became so hot that others had to step in. They were torn apart by field workers, and according to one account, a family member, possibly Jacob, who lives close by but avoided the spotlight, intervened to defuse the situation. At that point, Matt revealed the shocking information. His last caution. What does significant action mean? He allegedly informed Chris, "You've had your chances. Pay up by the end of the quarter or I'll take serious action. This ends now." According to insiders, it may involve everything from integrating the debt or promoting it on social media to suing for the entire amount plus interest, which at this stage might exceed $350,000 with penalties, into a possible special for LPBW. Legal conflicts are nothing new to Matt. He has previously defended himself in court cases involving family conflicts and farm accidents. This private situation could become a public spectacle if legal documents are served next. Amy Roloff is caught in the midst of this catastrophe and is completely heartbroken. Despite the wounds from the divorce, she has always been the center of the family and the one attempting to maintain harmony. According to sources, Amy has been begging both guys to resolve their differences in private, sobbingly telling friends, "I adore Matt's family as much as Chris. This is shattering me." Her loyalty is divided. On the one hand, she stands by her husband, understanding that the glamping disaster was a legitimate business risk rather than an act of malice. However, because of their shared history and years of co-parenting, she owes Matt. Amy has disclosed that her health is suffering as a result of the stress. At 62, she is coping with the psychological effects of celebrity, family conflicts, and now this financial disaster. According to reports, she has pushed Chris to liquidate assets. Perhaps his collection of motorcycles. Might even take money out of their combined savings to pay off the loan. Chris, however, objects because he feels ashamed. Additionally, it has been stated that Matt's fiancée, Karen Chandler, is escalating the conflict. Karen, who began working for Matt before becoming his partner, has a personal interest in the farm's success. According to sources, she has been putting pressure on Matt to take responsibility and collect the money owed, implying that allowing Chris to get away with it will negatively impact the family business. Karen's main concern is keeping Matt's enterprise safe. 1. According to The Insider, she believes Chris has been exploited as an outsider. This makes things much more awkward. Due to residual animosity from the divorce period, when Karen was suspected of being the other woman, Amy and Karen have never been close friends. Given that their engagement has recently been shaky due to rumors of disputes over wedding plans and farm management, Karen's influence may push Matt toward that lawsuit. Zach Roloff's previous charges against his father appear to be supported by this entire situation. Zach, who left the farm life to live with his wife Tori and their 3 children, has long criticized Matt's business methods as being self-serving and deceptive. Do you recall the argument in season 23 when Zach wanted to purchase a portion of the farm but claimed Matt had inflated the price in order to play favorites? Zach described it as shady and claimed that Matt puts money above his family. According to reports, Zach feels vindicated after this one drama. According to sources, he has contacted relatives, claiming, "I warned you Dad uses money to manipulate people. This demonstrates it." Zach has remained silent in public, concentrating on his own podcast and family in Washington state. But rumors suggest he is supporting Chris because he believes the loan is just another one of Matt's power struggles. If legal action brings the entire family into court, it can rekindle the father-son conflict. Taking a moment to consider how this fits into the larger Roloff picture will help us zoom out. The family has always focused on perseverance, conquering obstacles related to dwarfism, and starting a business from the beginning, and negotiating celebrity. However, money has been the cause of a lot of disputes. Because of the show, his farm, and inventions like his mobility aids, Matt is thought to be worth $6 million. Amy makes about $4 million from speaking engagements and her cookbook. Before getting married, Chris was doing well as a realtor, but nothing particularly noteworthy. The $300,000 loan is more than just money. The focus is on the power dynamics within a blended family. Social media is humming with fans. Chris always appeared dubious. Do you recall his pressure on Amy to sell her farm share? Others stand up for him. Failures in business are inevitable. Matt is being petty. Additionally, commentators are speculating wildly about Amy's latest Instagram postings, which contain cryptic quotations about forgiveness and family. What follows? We may soon see legal papers if Matt carries on his last warning. Although written contracts are preferred by Oregon law, verbal agreements may nevertheless be upheld as evidence of transfer. Chris might file a countersuit, arguing that the loan was an investment or gift. Either. In this sense, the family suffers a loss. Although sources claim their marriage is strong otherwise, Amy may petition for separation if the stress becomes too severe. Karen might advocate for a prenuptial agreement that safeguards Zach's and Matt's assets. This might be the last straw for any attempts at reconciliation. Ultimately, this narrative serves as a reminder that families on reality TV are similar to our own. Flawed, convoluted, and prone to financial meltdowns. Although we have been inspired by the Roloffs for 25 seasons, this off-camera drama reveals the genuine side. Are they going to conquer it? Time will tell. Leave a comment below with your opinions. Is it Team Chris or Team Matt? Additional updates. Karen recently sold her home. Little people, big world. Did she coerce Matt into proposing? And Karen Chandler made a lot of money when she sold her house. What is the amount? And Chris Merrick reveals some really startling information. Amy Roloff's boyfriend has changed. I'll tell you all about it. Matt Roloff, star of Little People, Big World, might have felt pressured to pop the question to Karen Chandler following her recent remarks and actions. Prior to becoming Matt's assistant, Karen managed the pumpkin field at Roloff Farms. Since his divorce from Amy Roloff, Karen has been dating Matt. Karen's denial of having an affair before to Matt and Amy's divorce has reportedly hurt her relationship with the RUF kids, who do not accept her. Matt and Karen made their engagement and 2024 wedding plans public in 2023. Matt proposed in their garden in Arizona after 6 years of dating. Nonetheless, trends indicate that their wedding preparations can be in difficulty. So as not to be reminded of Amy, Karen declined to have her wedding and to live on the Roloff Farms. Additionally, Karen's hurried actions and Matt's declaration that he wants to get married again indicate that she wants it more than Matt does. After Karen and Matt argued over the design of their future home before to the wedding in a Little People, Big World Season 25 episode, Karen sold her house in Oregon for $529,000. Since Karen and Matt don't live together, questions have been raised about their living arrangement. 7 years ago, when they first began dating, in order to become Mrs. Roloff, Karen sold her home. The fact that Karen wants to live in Matt's house despite their unmarried status shows how much she wants it and how she is pressuring him, even if they haven't decided on a date for their 2024 wedding. For 7 years, Karen has resided in her home. It's strange that she sold it so fast following their argument in the show and her earlier remarks that she didn't know their marriage goals. Despite purchasing a home to relocate, Karen ought to have held off on selling her previous home until all of their arrangements were finalized. Connor, Karen's son, stayed in the apartment prior to its sale following his split from Ashley Wham. Even though they are engaged and getting married soon, Matt's shocking admission that he might not want to get married again emphasizes how close he is to Karen. Matt's concern of getting married again was heard by friends Ty and Chris Merrick, who was married to Matt's ex-wife Amy. Matt questions how their relationship will change after marriage, even though all he sees is Karen. We're married and we like it. But should we do that? Matt's proposal to Karen is called into question due to his candor and skepticism. The couple's commitment to marriage is called into question if the date is changed later in the year after the declaration of marriage. The couple has had success in their 7-year partnership. After his public declaration, Matt might not have wanted to be married. After Matt informed Amy that he was leaving Oregon, he and Karen engaged an interior designer to furnish their new home. Karen and Matt's move plans did not go as planned, as seen by their argument over the interior design of their new home in Season 25, Episode 2. Karen pointed out that Matt's intention to place a sizable piece of barnwood in his home office is annoying. When Matt said he wanted to work with her on their future home, Karen said, "I see it that way. Neither of us are married. This is where I live with Matt." Since they are not married, Karen wants to live with Matt and is. Amy Roloff's husband is trying to create memories with her grandchildren. In an upcoming episode of Little People, Big World, Zach Roloff's son receives his first bike as a gift from Amy Roloff's husband. Tori and Zach Roloff share a surprise with their son Jackson and Amy at the park. "Hey, Jackson. Chris has something very special for you." Karen may be doing this because she loves Matt, not as a wealth digger as some LPBW supporters believe. When Jackson looks up from the jungle gym, he sees that Amy's husband Chris Merrick has brought a bike. As Tori and Zach applaud the gift, Jackson rushes over to see it. Zach tells him he needs a helmet. "Oh, terrific," said the kindergartner. Annie said, "Well, it is just like your scooter," and Zach said, "It is a completely new thing." Amy calls over her 2-year-old granddaughter Lila Ray and asks Tori if either of the children has ever had a bike other than a tricycle. Following Jackson's gift, Tori and Zach, the parents of 6-month-old Joa, Admit that Jackson is stoic and silent. To find out if he enjoys something, bring him home alone and see how much he talks about it explains. However, Chris's discovery of a bike that fits Jackson without Jackson was fantastic. It is impressive. Chris then helps Jackson get on the bike, worried that it might be too big. Chris demonstrates how to pedal forward and back to stop. Later, a producer asks Jackson if biking was fun. Simple. Jackson says, riding a bike is easy peasy. Later, Zach remarks, it's great that Chris wants to get to know the kids. Chris may be looking for ways to connect with the kids. The fish tank and bike are his. Nice that he is interested in the kids and does enjoyable things, Zach says. Great, I suppose. In an exclusive video, Jackson, the son of little people, Big World stars Zach and Tori Roloff, received a heartwarming gift from Grandma Amy Roloff's husband. After 3 years of dating, in September 2019, there will be no more gossip today. What are your thoughts? Please share your thoughts in the comments section below, and please subscribe to our channel for future updates like this one. Thank you.